Good morning and welcome to the last week of the semester. As of this Sunday, December the 10th at 11:30 p.m., the class is over. I will grade all of the revisions, the reflective essay that you're writing this week, which is about 3 to 4 pages, and any of the essay 4s I have not yet completed. My goal is to have all of the essay 4s completed by Sunday. Not sure that's going to happen. There may or may not be time for your specific essay to be revised, just so you know that. I do take that into consideration when giving the points out. Okay? So, essays that can be revised are always graded a little bit harder, I guess, is the best way to put it, than the ones that can't be revised. All right. This week you have 2 things to do. Do any of the revisions that you choose to do. Many of you have already been working on revisions. They go right back into the same Dropbox. While you're doing that, I'll be grading essays from this class and the 2 other classes I am teaching. I have about 60 essays to get through by the end of the semester, which is Sunday. 11:31 p.m. Revisions or reflections can't be accepted. All right, the class is over. That's one thing about online classes. An online class is over when it's over. Okay. You do not need a video for this assignment, the portfolio reflection assignment. So Sunday reflections. The Sunday reflection is a little bit confusing. Everybody in the English department who is taking Comp 1 must complete this assignment. Okay, so this is not a Mr. Harrell assignment. This is a University of Akron assignment. And so I'm going to tell you exactly how to get 100%. Okay? You have to do 5 things to get 100%, but I'm going to walk you through what this assignment is. So this is what's considered a meta assignment. It means you're writing about your own writing. Okay? So you're going to choose 3 essays that you wrote this semester. One of them has to be the essay 3, David Giffords analytical essay. Okay? So you can write about 1, 2, and 3, 2, 3, and 4, 3, 4, and 1, whatever you want to do. Okay, but you have to write about David Giffords' essay. Okay, you have to quote yourself quoting David Giffords. Okay, so you're going to basically say, here is how, one of the things you're going to do is, here is how I integrated a quote from The Hard Way on Purpose. So you're going to have the sentence or 2 before it, the quote that you had, and then at the end of it, and then what you said about that quote. All right, understanding quote integration. So, just so you know, that is one of the 5 ways you can get 100%. Or vice versa, that's one of the 5 ways you'll lose points and not have 100%. Okay? So, choose 3 of your essays. And in those 3 essays, you're going to write this reflection about how you learn some of these learning objectives and the proof. Okay? So in this class, you had 7 or 8 learning objectives. They're in the syllabus, and they're actually on this prompt. You're going to write a reflection that proves to me that you learn these things. For instance, engage in process of drafting, revising, editing, and proofreading. You all have done that. So all you have to do is, in a paragraph, say, I participated in engaging the process of drafting. Here's how I did. So just tell that story. How did you go from the initial draft to the revision, to the editing, to the proofreading? That's not actually in the best order. So it's probably a draft, then an edit, and then a proofread, and then a revision. Okay, just tell us how you did that. Maybe say, hey, your original title was this, and in the proofreading or in the editing process or the revising process, I changed it to this. Or here was my original thesis. Here's the new thesis. Things like that. How did you make appropriate choices about structure, transitions, conclusions? How did you write an audience in mind? I wrote this essay with this audience in mind, and here's how I know. Okay, and then prove it to me. You're going to quote yourself. You do not have to have a works cited page for yourself. No in-text citations for yourself. So you're basically going to write, but make sure you put it in quotes. You're going to say, in this essay, and then the title of that essay, I learned how to write a thesis statement. Here is that thesis statement. Okay? Now, you do need a works cited page because you're going to be quoting David Giffords. It's another way that you can not get all the points necessary, is not have your works cited page. You have to quote Giffords, and you have to have an in-text citation, and you have to have the works cited page. Talked about the thesis for a second. How did you, and then this, incorporate your ideas in connection with outside materials. This is your quote integration. You have to do this one. Be able to smoothly and correctly integrate quotations and things like that. All right? Show me. Say, I learned how to integrate ideas from outside sources. Here's proof. Engage in critical reading and analytical writing. That's what that essay is about. And then talk about how you learned MLA, grammar, mechanics, and things like that. Okay? So, this essay takes the learning objectives of the class, and you show me in your own essays where you learned these things. Okay? The thesis of this essay can be very simple. I have learned these skills and concepts, and which skills and concepts you have, in Comp 111, and here's the evidence. All right. Okay. 5 things that, if you do these 5 things, you'll get 100%. You'll have a title. You have headings and the page numbers and things like that. You have an opening with a thesis statement, and that thesis statement can very easily be, I have learned these different learning concepts, and here's my proof. You'll talk about these learning goals, including, and you should touch on most of them. Okay. So you should, that's number 4 of how to get 100%. And then finally is you have to talk about the David Giffords essay 3. Okay. You do all 5 of those, you'll have 100%. Heading, page numbers, works cited page, so all the MLA formatting stuff. Title, opening with a thesis. You mentioned the learning goals and how you learned them. And finally, you're going to quote David Giffords and talk about quote integration, and then obviously you'll have an in-text citation on works cited page. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to post some examples. Excuse me. And I'll post those examples so you can take a look at them. Not all of them will be about David Giffords. They'll be about other analytical essays about different texts. At least you can get kind of the concept of what's going on. All right. Excellent semester. Most of you guys really worked hard. And I know that online classes are not for everybody. And I think most of you figured that out very quickly. So, whether it's for you or not. All right. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be here all week. I do not have office hours next week. The classes are over. I'll have all the grades posted by the required time, and I believe that's the 20th. Thank you very much.